Movies. I don't know why I'm late with it all the time. I don't care at this point. Cocaine Bear. There's a lot of controversies with this film. I saw this with my friends. It was dumb fun. You know what I mean? Like they actually had like some serious elements in this. I don't know if it would have worked better as a comedy movie, but part of they tried to take a couple of subplots and like join them together because all the characters were together. Like everyone has the one goal to be alive, but for different reasons, which I guess was neat on the writer's point, but it's Cocaine Bear. The Black Phone. One of my friends is obsessed with the Black Phone and like the lore behind it. And I thought it was very interesting because the Black Phone is technically a metaphorical object or device. Like it's not really, it doesn't really work, or it helps the story progress. And overall, the acting and all that, the story was all beautifully done. I saw this in January. I don't care. The unbearable weight of massive talent. Nick Cage and Pedro, they fucking killed it. I don't care. I love this movie, and I was watching it with my grandma, in during the month of January, and she said it was the stupidest movie. I fucking loved it because Nick Cage. Nobody can play Nick Cage besides Nick Cage. Like, that's a win-win right there. Island of Lost Souls. I saw this movie with my grandpa on, which I love MeTV, by the way. I love MeTV, and I love the movie that Svengoolie showed. The villain. So the premise of it is a guy who got knocked into a cargo ship. He went onto an island full of like ape people, and there's this leader who reminded me a lot of Hugo Strange because of his order and how he's able to command all of them. This is a little shocker. Goodfellas. Dude, I'm an Italian New Yorker. This was so accurate. all the accents, they were just so accurate. Plus, the comedy and the seriousness, like it's all incorporated so well. Martin Scorsese did a wonderful job of this movie. It is a classic. The Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2. I saw the movie first by accident before reading the comic. The comic is a fucking gold mine. Look at this. This is a work of art. That's a work of art right there. You're telling, name one Marvel comic that comes close to that. Exactly. No Marvel comic could come close to how important and how memorable The Dark Knight Returns is. The movie, it's almost as good as the comic. There was a couple of things that they changed themselves, like small things. There wasn't anything major that they changed. They really stuck to this comic and made it into animation. But there was one thing that I think really does set it back. It's the art style and the animation style. I think if they tried to do something like this, it would be just as good. Like you really can't pick. But of course, the OG is always going to be better. Here's another movie I have not watched. Die Hard. Die. I saw this with my grandpa too. He thought it was kind of boring. He was willing to watch it, but I I can't believe I haven't seen this movie sooner. And here, I'll answer the question. Is it a Christmas movie or not? Okay, here's my question. Is The Batman a Halloween movie? But otherwise, Bruce Willis, all the dynamics, the relationships, like they all work together. What I liked about Bruce Willis's character is that he wasn't this like agent who was so smart. Like he's just a cop trying to figure out what the hell can I do? Like what's the smartest thing for me to do while he does the dumbest thing? Blast from the past. Dude, this is the most memorable quote right here.
What are you looking at?
Oh, my lucky stars! A Negro!
Brendan Fraser yet again, he knocks it out of the park. Like I was fully convinced that his character was actually like in the bunker his whole life. And dude, the niceness from him, like, oh, here we go. Shazam 2. Shazam 2. This was a fun movie overall. What stuck out to me the most was a couple of shots, the acting from, hold on, Jack Dylan Grazer. I loved his acting. He was the best actor by miles. I think the weakest part about this movie was not. I'm not gonna talk about the whole DCU and DCEU situation because that was bound to happen. My biggest problem with this was the villain and the writing, not specifically the direction, but the literal written dialogue itself. It's so unrealistic. Another thing that was unrealistic was when Rachel's character, Athena, went up to Freddy and she was like talking to him and all that. That dialogue was just so unrealistic. But what was more unrealistic was the fact that she went up to him and wanted to talk to him instead of him going up to her and wanting to talk to them. I said, no, that's unrealistic because that never happened to me. Insomnia. Dude, I miss Robin Williams. I miss Robin Williams. Nah, I'm sorry. I just have to say this real quick. It's fucking heartbreaking that Robin Williams died. But if it wasn't for his death, we wouldn't have recognized mental health and depression as much. Chris Nolan did a wonderful job with this movie, especially in the location that it takes place. It takes place in a city in Alaska where the sun never sets, and the cop, who's played by Al Pacquiao, something like that. Yeah, he just doesn't get sleep because of this case. I thought it was wonderful. The acting was all nice. Cinematography was done well as well. Well as well. I'm putting that as a senior quote. My Neighbor Totoro. Okay, so here's the story about this. I was gonna see Shazam 2 again for free. We couldn't because we didn't sign up for it. So instead, I'm looking at the time slots. My Neighbor Totoro was about to play. So we bought the tickets for that. Wow. This was just a beautifully written and a beautifully drawn movie. It was just so beautiful. Like some of the shots, just my eyes were just locked on because of how mesmerizing and how gorgeous it looked. Even the sound. I'm sorry. That sound was so amazing, dude. Reminiscence. Hugh Jackman always kills it as always. I don't know if this is a book or not. If it is a book, I'm gonna read it. Or try to at least. The whole memory machine is an interesting concept. Yeah, it's just a good movie overall, I'd say. That's all the feature films I watched, and the short film I watched is called The Jester. The power of short films is truly remarkable. There was no need for a story, alright? It was a jester doing his magic tricks, creeping out a guy, and then killing him, I think. And the thing is, this was the first video on my watch later list. It's been on for years, and I finally took it off, so I'll take it. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully it can be released either today or tomorrow. Most likely today, since it's almost 12 o'clock.